This video is sponsored by the OneFootball app. The OneFootball app allows you, the fan, to get all the latest news, stats and transfers all in one place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description below. So let's quickly hear from Will, who's doing his predicted 1 to 11 ahead of the game on Saturday.
Hi everyone, yes, I'm back and we're going to be talking about how Newcastle will line up against Huddersfield. Starting with the goalkeeper, I think it's fairly obvious that Martin Dubravka is going to be the one that lines up in goal. When it goes to right back with DeAndre Yedlin getting his red card against Wolverhampton Wanderers, I think that means that Javier Manquillo will be lining up at right back in a four-man defence. For the centre-backs, this one really is where the question is, because Federico Fernandez got pulled at half-time during the Wolves game, and it remains to be seen whether he will be fit to play against Huddersfield. If he got pulled at half-time during the Wolves game, then I reckon that means he probably won't be, which means that I think that Jamal Lascelles will line up alongside Kieran Clark as the two centre-backs. You could probably put in Fabian Schär as well. However, I think Rafa Benitez is probably going to go with the two that he kind of knows the most and trusts the most. At left-back, I will put Paul Dummett back into the side. I think Rafa Benitez will as well. Was back on the bench against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Whether he's fit enough and whether Rafa wants to take the risk is another thing entirely, but I think with the injuries that we've got, I think he will risk Dummett for this game and bring him back into the fold. If he isn't fit enough, then Kieran Clark can move to left back and then Fabian Schär can be put into the centre-backs. But I reckon it's going to be Dummett, Clark, Lascelles and Manquillo to make up the back four. In midfield, lining up in a 4-2-3-1, Shelby again wasn't involved against Wolves, and it remains to be seen whether he comes back from injury. But even so, I think sung-yueng would keep his place anyway. He has been in good form and he's been one of our better players this season. I see no real reason to drop him, and he'll start alongside Mohamed Diarra, the kind of obvious midfield partnership as with the lack of depth of our squad. You know, we kind of really have a fairly set first team as it seems right now. But moving into wingers, Kennedy, after not being involved against Everton, came back off the bench against Wolves. Will we see him start? I'm not so sure. You know, maybe Benitez will want to go with Atsu, and I think he's going to. I think Kennedy hasn't been in the best form, and I think Atsu has looked better than he has when he started the season. I think Atsu deserves another go, so I think he'll line up on the left-hand side with Matt Ritchie on the right, and then Jose Perez in the middle after getting his goal against Wolves and doing this celebration. Remains to be seen whether he carries on the form and scores against Huddersfield. Will be very much welcome. And then obviously Salomon Rondon starting up front. A couple of questions in there. Maybe you could bring in Jacob Murphy to start in on the right, and I think the pace could give Huddersfield some problems, but I think we're going to go try and test it in this one with Matt Ritchie. Kennedy, it's fair enough to assume that he would be brought back into the squad, but I reckon that he'll start with Christian Atsu and bring Kennedy off the bench if need be. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you think Rafa Benitez is going to start up with against Huddersfield, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.
That was Will's 1 to 11. Let us know what you lot think in the comments down there below, and we'll see us at Huddersfield on Saturday.